Hey everybody, welcome to the stream. It's Wednesday night Merfolk with Merfolk Joe here on Twitch. So thanks very much for joining me. Tonight I'm going to be playing the blue-white list, very similar to what I had been running recently with Merfolk, what I ran in the last week's stream. Except this week, I've chosen not to go with Luris in this sideboard anymore. In favor of Master of Waves. Looking at the state of Modern right now, there's so much Jund. There's a lot of black-green, there's a lot of burn, there's a lot of prowess, and against all those matchups, Master of Waves is pretty good. Pretty good. Better in some than others. Like prowess is really fast. Sometimes we might not have a chance to get down our 4-drop, but against any of the mid-range decks, Master of Waves should be pretty good. I mean, you're going to have to look out for Fatal Push, Assassin's Trophy, Maelstrom Pulse, but still just a ton of value if he sticks as a 4-drop. Against Burn, puts up like a huge barrier, hard for them to get through. So I'm going to try Master of Waves tonight as a 3-of, keeping the curve fairly low. Wanted to make some space for other cards. So other interesting things that are going on in the main deck here. You got the 4 Force of Negation. Not that interesting, but I am on 3 Spell Pierce in the main. If any of you guys have been playing on Magic Online lately, you'll probably have seen a lot of Neo brand decks running around. Also a lot of Ad Nauseam. Not exactly sure like the metagame dynamics that causes Ad Nauseam to either, become more or less popular at any moment, but I guess it's sort of like, well, it's hard. I don't even know, honestly. I've never played Ad Nauseam, so I don't really know how that works. But right now, it seems like the metagame is pretty well suited to Ad Nauseam because I see it everywhere. So yeah, anyhow, Burn, Prowess, as I mentioned, Spell Pierce is going to do a great job, but also against Ad Nauseam, Neobrand. Bogles is actually getting really popular now again with Luris, since they can just buy back their hexproof dudes or their enchantments from the graveyard with Luris. Spell Pierce, obviously really good against them. All right, so seven counter spells in the main deck. I played earlier today against a black-white tokens deck, and I just drew so many counter spells, and they had pretty much no non-creature spells in their deck. I guess they had like Sanctuary Cat or something like that. It's like a 1/1 lifelinker with Embalm. So anyhow, apart from that silly card, everything was non-creature, so Spell Pierce was just amazing. The 2 Brazen Borrowers, sort of like the upgraded Echoing Truth of current day Merfolk, just a sort of flexible catch-all card that if an opponent does happen to resolve, like an Ensnaring Bridge, we have some kind of out to it. Sort of the reason over here for playing white at all is Unsettled Mariner. He's a Merfolk that protects all our Merfolk, protects us. Particularly good against Burn, Prowess, where they're trying to kill our creatures, trying to throw burn spells at our face. This guy's going to tax all of that stuff. Also really good against all those black-green mid-range decks I was discussing earlier. Taxes all the removal, taxes all the Thought Seizes. So it just seems really, really good right now, and worth the clunkiness of the mana base. So what else? Anything interesting? A lot of people have been sort of splitting their C's between the main deck and the sideboard. There is a fair amount of blue in the format between like the sort of Miracles deck that Aspiring Spike has been popularizing lately. Obviously runs like a ton of islands, and any Orion deck's going to run a lot of islands. But running Master of Waves, you kind of want your hard to remove Devotion. So even against island decks in game 1, presumably you're going to be able to take the opponent off of one of their colors, hopefully. Maybe not with Astrolabe being everywhere, but one can hope. So Spreading Seas replaces itself, gives us Island Walk, provides Devotion for Master of Waves. So I'm just running all 4 in the main deck. Again, expecting a lot of Luris, Jund, black-green Luris, that kind of stuff. Spreading Seas obviously excels in those matchups. Only 2 Mutavaults. We want to make sure that we're able to cast our spells. Mutavault can help cast Silvergill and Spreading Seas and Master of Waves. Not too much else in the deck, Ether Vial. So we really need our colored mana sources. Limiting myself to just 1 Cavern I don't want to get too stuck with like Brazen Bar or Force of Negation. Deprive out of the sideboard. Cavern of Souls can be really clunky, but with that sort of Miracles deck running around, just random banned control decks, we would love to draw this card in a lot of situations. Glancing over at the sideboard, we've got 3 Deprives to supplement the 7 counterspells in the main deck. Going up to 10 counterspells should make us extremely resistant to any kind of combo decks. Should also give us a leg up in like combo matchups. Control matchups is what I mean to say. Also really good against Tron. We've got Damping Sphere also to help us against Tron. Tidebinder Mage going to help us against all that green and red stuff I've already talked about a lot. 2 Rest in Pieces, pretty self-explanatory. If you're going to run white, why not run like the strongest Graveyard Hate available? 3 Vapor Snags might need some explanation. Most people favor Dismember these days. But again, with so many red decks running around, it seemed like a good time to give Vapor Snag a second chance, a third chance, a fourth chance. It's a really kind of OG tempo semi-removal spell. I guess it's a bounce spell. Deals damage to the opponent, so helps our aggro plan. And Merfolk is supposed to be a tempo deck, so bounce the opponent's biggest threat, get in for more damage, and hopefully the extra turn should help us get there. Choosing it over Dismember so we don't lose 4 life against Prowess. That's kind of a big deal. Sure, you kill Kiln Fiend, you prevent yourself from taking like 15 damage, but Vapor Snag is just going to be sort of strictly better in that situation. Tidebinder Mage, Vapor Snag, I think I pretty much covered everything. Chalice of the Void, a lot of decks running a lot of 1-drops, even running 0-drops like Titan decks. Going to have Summoner's Pact. Neo Brand is going to have Pact of Negation and Summoner's Pact, so play it on 0. Ad Nauseam, also 0 hits them pretty hard. I think also 1 against Ad Nauseam turns off Spoils of the Vault, Serum Visions, bunch of stuff. So again, welcome to the stream, everybody. I'm going to be playing Blue-White Merfolk in a league today, this evening. Hopefully it'll go well. I believe I said this on the on my last stream, but I've tended to play Qs lately just because I'm not crazy about the modern sort of super competitive metagame right now. I forgot to mention there's a lot of Scape Shift right now. It's kind of a control-oriented Scape Shift build with I guess I should just play a match here. A lot of counter spells, and then they just sort of close the game out with Scape Shift and Urian. M. Hayashi has slipped a little bit in the trophy table, but he's still way up there, doing a great job representing Merfolk, even though he's currently on Prowess. One of the most successful Merfolk players on Magic Online ever. So while we're waiting, I guess we can take another look at the deck list. If you guys have any comments, let me know. You should see the deck list over here also. I think I've got the correct list loaded up on Cardboard Live. All right, what do we got? Looks like we won the die roll. Against potentially a Merfolk player. Let's see. Oh, it's a Gyruda deck, so hopefully I think Spell Pierce should be pretty good against Gyruda. It's a pretty all-in combo. We're not going to play around any kind of board wipes or anything like that. Just totally overextend. And also, I'm probably not going to worry about life loss to this Waterlogged Grove. So I'm going to keep. For those of you guys who don't know Gyruda, what they do is they try to just mill themselves and get Gyruda comes down. Basically, they ramp to Gyruda, and what does it do? Each player puts the top 4 cards of their library into the graveyard, and so they run tons and tons of like phantasmal image type cards. So they'll hit a phantasmal image, and then it says they can put a creature card with an even mana cost. All their creatures are even. From those cards onto the graveyard, it copies Garuda. It does it again. So while they're filling up their graveyard, they're also milling you out. Now, I could choose to attack with Mutavault next turn, get that going, or I could hope to draw another colored mana source to get more creatures out quicker. It's kind of a close call, I think, here. But Mutavault is sort of guaranteed damage, and I've got Aether Vial, so I think I'll go with the Mutavault here. I don't think I'll have to leave up Spell Pierce in the first 2 turns. All right, so we know the opponent has this 6-drop sort of waiting in the wings. Okay, Verdant Catacombs, and they pass. Okay. Okay, so I'll just go ahead with Silvergill here. That was a good draw. And probably just reveal the Master, since we've got 8 of those in the deck. Opponent probably assumes we have one in hand. Revealing it doesn't give away too much information. Another Silvergill. Let's see what I draw, I guess, here. Opponent gets a tapped Breeding Pool. Another Lord. All right, so we get to push a lot of damage. At a certain point, we're going to have to start, I guess, holding up Spell Pierce. Imagine they run things. I don't know this deck too well, but imagine they run things like Growth Spiral, things that are going to ramp them to Garuda. Maybe some of these builds run like Counter Magic. Okay, so you can see the ramp. They do have an island here, so we are going to have access to Island Walk. Somebody's talking to me. Oh no, that's just the weekly stream notice. Hey, the Dogfish. Welcome to the stream. It's a Garuda deck we've got here. I did not draw another land, which is kind of a bummer. So yeah, I think I'm just going to activate Mutavault. Drop a Lord, get a clock ticking. It's going to take them down to 13. Play another Lord through Vial next turn, and we're swinging for 8 plus 6, 14. So it should be lethal next turn if they don't have interaction. Or they don't have, like, triple Simian Spirit Guide or something into Garuda. It's sort of possible for them to whiff, but, oh, well, that takes them just outside of lethal, when it's kind of obnoxious. See, I could be countering, like, these Farseeks, but they could pay for it here, I guess. Yuck. So I think we might just be one short here. That Radiant Fountain. Man, this is a little bit disappointing. So I've got 14 points of damage. They're going to get a land with Steve here and start trying to go off with Garuda. So they're going to have their lands. There's really nothing that Spell Pierce is going to do here. Last time, I lost a game to Garuda when they found Dragon Lord Kolaghan, which gives all their creatures like haste and double strike or something like that. So possible leaving blockers back could be like a strategy. If they get a bunch of Garuda copies and then Dragon Lord Kolaghan, could attack for a bit now, leave back. Like just do like basically like the minimum 2-turn clock. Trickster tapping a Gyruda doesn't really do anything. Like if I attack for 6 here and then just hold up Trickster, I can tap down one of their attackers, but they're really, I think the Gyruda plan is just to mill the person out. I mean, yeah, that was really unlucky that they played that Radiant Fountain. I can leave Trickster back, or Trickster up, I guess. Thing is, I don't really have to, hang on, let me cancel this. I don't really have to get in for a lot of damage here. I mean, they're just going to do their thing next turn, right? So, but the thing is, Trickster just taps down one of their, yeah, you know, I don't know, honestly. I don't know if it takes haste away from their creatures or double strike, but it will just tap down one of their Gyrudas, which would hopefully be productive. I don't know. The thing is, I just don't know that flashing in a Lord here and swinging for 4/4. Did I? I think I might have just done the math wrong anyway. So, yeah, I think I overestimated my clock. Just gonna swing here and leave up Trickster. I don't know that there's much else I can do. I don't know. We're gonna do our best, guys, and sort of see how it works out. Also, I think I overestimated my clock. For some reason, I thought I had I was gonna also be swinging with the extra Lord. So turns out it wasn't as fast as I thought. All right, so we're gonna open up their graveyard. It's true that sometimes it whiffs. We're gonna try to Trickster something and get out of it alive. Got our Island Walk going on. Not really sure how relevant Spell Pierce is actually in this matchup. They've got all these like creature spells, the Sakura Tribe Elders, also things like Farseek, but unless we hit them really early, you know, they're gonna have a bunch of lands out. It's possible. You see how many blue cards I have sitting in my hand. So Force is probably going to be decent, like to keep them off of the early ramp. Deprive, really good. I actually got caught by the Cavern of Souls. Like I was totally set to win a game, and opponent just top decked a Cavern of Souls, which would sort of wreck Deprive, obviously. Also, Deprive not really good in this particular spot since I managed to not draw 2 blue sources. Opponent thinking really hard. And in the end, they go with the very tricky play. The play that they've been ramping to for the last 4 turns. Surprise. All right. Gyruda has entered the battlefield. Whiff. They found an Ashen Rider. That's like kind of the best we could have hoped for, I think. So we should have the game here, I think. Oh, wait, they can return a Steve, I guess, too? Or no, only from those cards, I think, right? From among those cards. So I think they have to go with Ashen Rider. I mean, they can put this guy onto the battlefield and kind of blow up whatever they want. But I should have lethal around whatever they play. All right, so we got there, guys. Oh, wait, let's see. I guess, yeah, they have to choose something, right? If they blow up a Lord, I just violin another Lord and then another Lord. If they blow up Ether Vial, that's kind of stupid. If they blow up Mutavault, doesn't matter because I can violin more bodies. Oh god, if they exile their own breeding pool, that would be really interesting. I could still flash in Trickster to tap one of their. Or they just go for the Lord. Okay, so Lord down. They still haven't played a land yet this turn, I think. Well, now they have. Okay, opponent scoops onto game 2. It's such a stupid deck, right? Like, why would you base your whole entire game around like 4 milled cards on the top of your deck? Exiling their own breeding pool was like super next level, and they didn't see it. All right, so Rest in Peace seems strong, right? Obviously going to bring in those deprives and hope that they don't find Cavern of Souls. Is Vapor Snag really good? Actually, I think it is really good because the ability goes on the stack, and then I Vapor Snag Gyruda, and none of the tokens, or sorry, none of the clones can copy Gyruda then. So I'm pretty sure Gyruda is like a 6/6 too, right? So Dismember wouldn't have done the job. Rest in Peace does do something. It makes it so that Gyruda mills nothing, right? It's their whole plan, isn't it? The cards would go straight into exile, and they don't get to bring anything onto the battlefield. Why would I not bring it in? I don't know. You got to explain it to me. That seems really, really weird. It doesn't matter if they go into... Is that right? All right, I'm taking your word for it, because I don't know the exact wording of the card. Brazen Borrower sort of goes with... I thought it was bonkers, right? Like, how can it put things into play from exile? I'm gonna take the Spell Pierces out. I didn't love that game. Take out 2 Spreading Seas, maybe more. Master is a little bit slow in this matchup. We're looking more for Island Walk, I think. Oh, all right. Well, I mean, you seem to know what you're saying, so I'm gonna take those out, and I guess I'll just bring back in what? Couple of Spell Pierces. Try to slow them down in the early part of the game. I like the bounce strategy. Mariner might be poor, actually. So maybe we bring back in a Master instead of Mariners. Maybe even just Tidebinder Mage is better as like lower to the ground kind of stuff. Well, Paintball, I'm really happy to have you here on the stream telling us about these rulings. Would be stupid to lose a game with sideboard tech that we thought was good. It was actually bad. Yeah, that is another interaction that can get you. Okay, this is keepable, I guess. A little bit land heavy, but the Silver Gill's going to replace itself. We've got Bounce for Gyruda, which should hopefully get us there. At least gets us another turn. We get to cycle the Waterlogged Grove if we feel like it. I mean, this is sort of a sketchy hand. I'd like to see a Deprive, but we've got lands and we've got spells, so I think I'll keep it. Field of the Dead. Master of Waves. Okay, hand getting a little bit better. Cavern of Souls. All right, well, so now I'm glad that we don't have the Deprive in hand. Snake? That seems kind of stupid. This is not a snake, right? And I was probably not going to counter their Steve, so... Now I do want to draw a Deprive. think I'm just going to jam this Silver Gill here. Blue, let's go like Lord here. I'll force him negation, something. Could pitch one of these masters. So no islands currently, but also no island walk lords. So Farseek. I could counter this. Kind of like countering this. It's what we bring in these counter spells for, right? Radiant Fountain. Opponent goes to 22. Can play another Steve, I guess, if they have it. But they don't. I don't have a 1-drop to Violin. So we'll take the Vial up. Another Brazen Borrower. Well, that buys us potentially 2 cards against Garuda. So two turns is what I meant to say. Probably just going to tick up this Ether Vial to 3. Maybe cycle the Waterlogged Grove on the opponent's turn. Okay, opponent currently doesn't have close to mana to cast Garuda. They need double black or double blue, and this is not a type. So I mean, I guess maybe they could, I don't know. Two drop, please? No? Land? All right. If you insist, deck. Silver Gill is a good one. Opponent knows about the exiled Master of Waves. They don't know about this Master of Waves. So, well, I guess I'll reveal it to cast it. So play the Wandervine Hub. Although, maybe I want to play a Mutavault if I draw it, so I'll play the Silver Gill first. I mean, if they have some way to play Garuda next turn that I don't see, then I guess I lose, but... It's a pretty clunky turn with ticking the Ether Vials up. So, I mean, in a sense, a little bit risky, like going shields down here. But again, I don't really see how they cast Garuda here. Right. And they don't. Maybe they're holding back like an island so that I don't have Island Walk. Wow, okay. Well, I mean, some interesting stuff in our hand now. No block sack. Seems poor. All right. Pass the turn. All right. So they get black. So they're one land away now from casting Garuda. I think we should have lethal on our next attack, right? We've got like 5 tokens coming. All right, so we're not going to counter Garuda, which was never the plan here. So kudos to the opponent for finding a second Cavern of Souls. Paying 7 mana for it, I guess. Kind of weird. All right, so this thing is going to go onto the stack. I am going to bounce it. And we'll see what they hit. Ashen Rider and Spark Double. All right, so I imagine they're going to go for Ashen Rider here. Shouldn't really matter, I don't think. I mean, it's kind of annoying. Like, Trickster will tap this thing down. Master of Waves just going to get in there in response to this target. All right, tap down the Ashen Rider. Okay. Ether Vial gets exiled. Opponent presumably not having any follow-up play. And if they do, we've got Spell Pierce, like if they have a Dismember or something. And opponent just scoops. So pretty good performance by the deck in round 1. Very nice. I'm gonna run to the bathroom real quick. I'll be back in just a second. Okay. All right, I'm back. Let's check this guy out. Playnet has 1 undefeated trophy. Kudos. I wonder if it's with that deck. So already our bounce spell's coming in pretty handy. You could say Vapor Snag would have been sort of just as good there. Is Garuda a 6/6? I forgot to sort of double check, just in case like Dismember would be relevant or irrelevant. Like if it's a 5/5, then Dismember's pretty great. Yeah, so Dismember pretty poor there. think Dismember's also obviously poor against Burn, and it's sort of okay against Prowess. But we don't really like, Boros charming our own face to deal with one of their creatures. Anybody who came in late, if you want to check out the deck list, I do have some Vapor Snags in the sideboard. So I won the die roll here. I won the die roll in the last round as well, and I've had some good luck with Ether Vials so far. So opponent kept their 7. Okay, all right. Obviously want to draw a land next turn. But nice to have all this gas in our hand against. This is Jund Lurrus, I guess. Could be Black-Red Lurrus, but looks like Jund. Come on, land. There it is. So opponent knows every card in my hand at this point. Just reveal the Lord again. Okay, things shaping up nicely. Yeah, it's funny how Dismember has phases. Aw, are they gonna Thought Seize the Spreading Seas again? Blah. Blah, I say. This is where I want Lurrus to get my Spreading Seas back. Give me my Spreading Seas back. Opponent keeping the 1 lander. Gotta love it. Beautiful. So beautiful. Really, really, really beautiful. Get in there, Mariner. Punished. Ah, and they scooped. Punished so hard. All right. Against Lurrus, Jund, we probably want to bring in Chalice on 1, right? And probably want to cut these Spell Pierces. Opponent asks if I know why he scooped. Because you kept a 1 lander, question mark. Tidebinder Mages, dope. Opponent says, you know why I scoop, right? And I said, because you kept a 1 lander, and they said, bingo. And then they said, well, you're shapeshifter. And it's like, yeah. You scooped because of everything that we just saw. It's not much of a question, huh? These forces are probably pretty bad. Like, we just want to grind. I don't really want to lose cards. If anything, like, Deprive is just going to be better, I think. Rest in Peace against Lurrus. Should we do it? Bounce isn't that amazing, you know? I think Rest in Peace against Lurrus Jund with Tarmogoyf seems pretty good, actually. Like, trim one of these guys, and damn, like, I think we're pretty set. You guys have any observations, any suggestions about this? I could trim Ether Vials against Jund, but I don't know. Like, what else are we bringing in? Keep a Brazen Borrower, trim 1 Ether Vial, I guess. And we'll run it like that. You guys can let me know what kind of stupid mistakes I'm making with my sideboarding. Wow. A mulligan here. Opponents beginning with 7 and Lurrus, and Particularly since they're on like hand disruption, I can't imagine this is a keep. Got a mulligan. Better. Unless it gets disrupted, in which case maybe not better, but we still have two things that we can cast off of any blue source. And if they thought seize us, they're definitely going to take the Ether Vial. So I'll keep this and just bottom a Lord. And say done. So opponent and I both keeping 1 landers in game 1. Thoughtseize, okay. Take my Ether Vial, I'm going to draw an island, and we'll see how it goes. Or, I don't know, take Spreading Seas and get beaten by Ether Vial. Another example of Mutavault kind of biting us in the butt. Opponent targeting my top deck. Okay, all right. Probably should have done that before you Thoughtseize me. Island. So good. Oh, it's so good. I'm not even going to reveal a Merfolk opponent. You don't get my secrets. Croxa. All right. Yeah. I'm going to pitch Master. Sorry, yeah, Master of the Pearl Trident. So Graveyard Hate, huh? This is pretty good. So Rest in Peace off the top for the like sick rubbins. I think we save spreading. I mean, this could just be black-red, right? But I feel like it kind of has to be Jund. We didn't see any green last game. So maybe it's better. Maybe it's better to play. I mean, also like they seem to run like kind of only a few lands since they kept the 1 lander last game. I don't know. Like, what do you guys think? Spreading Seas here or Silvergill? Kind of like getting the beats going. But also, I mean, we've got redundant Silvergills. I don't know how much that matters. Spreading Seas, we do want to have access to Island Walk, so get it like while we can. I mean, if they have like a forest in hand, potentially we could take them off of Lurrus next turn by casting Spreading Seas now. Tricky. I'm going to cast Spreading Seas, I think. Could be bad. I think I might just jam Chalice on 0 if we can dodge Lurrus for 1 turn, or even if Lurrus comes down now, I think I'll still play out Chalice on 0 to stop that. All right, so they have another land, probably going to get an Overgrown Tomb, I'd imagine. Oh, not going for Lurrus. Maybe they are. All right, so there's the tomb. We've got 3 more Spreading Seas in the deck. So they're going to go like Lurrus, Bauble. Okay, you get to draw 1 more card, but no more after that. I'm wasting a card just to fight this stupid Bauble. They targeted me, so they know what my top deck is. Island. All right, deck is kind of hooking us up a little bit. So I'm going to go Silvergill, Chalice on 0. That's why you do that in case you draw another Mutavault that we might want to attack with next turn. But I can't see revving up both Mutavaults next turn to attack. Probably just want to get the island out. I mean, they could have Kolaghan's Command here. for the big blowout, but just doing what we can. We're on the draw this game, trying to maneuver to some kind of advantage, but stop tapping lands. Stop. God damn it. I don't know about you guys, but I can't wait till Luris gets banned. Oh, Unearth, huh? Okay. Fine. I sort of have to pitch Mutavault. Take 3. Opponent gets to just cast Kroxa next turn. Actually, they need another land for that. This is over. I mean, Kolagan's Command, Mishra's Bauble. Pretty disgusting. Blah. Well, we're going to be on the play next game. All right, so they don't have Kroxa right now. They do have Ren in 6. Why not, right? It's like ping my 1 toughness dude. Awesome. They never didn't have it. Inquisition. I'm not going to scoop, but I might scoop soon. They are looking at my top deck, getting in with their stupid Luris again. I'm going to try to kill their Ren in 6 probably. Spreading Seas is a good card, but I think killing Ren in 6 is more. I could take. Hang on, since we're behind, I could go like Silvergill, reveal Tidebinder, or just well, let's see. We could take them off red so that Kroxa is like not a thing at all, and then hope to draw a land to hit Ren in 6. I think that might be like the only way that we claw back into this game is if we rip a land right here. Otherwise, we're just too far behind. So land 1 time for, actually, hang on, yeah. I think this is the right line. And then land from Mutavault. Let's go deck. Yes. But knowing this deck, they probably have Fatal Push in hand. Come on. Yeah. Draw your free card for the turn. Oh my god. So not fair. Don't play another Ren in 6. Guys, like, I'm doing my best, but this is just kind of obscene how they're drawing. Like, look at their setup here. I was just gonna say Lord would be pretty nice because without removal they can't. They can't kill the Silvergill. But they're probably. I could try to snipe Luris. But I don't know. I'm just gonna finish this game out here. Like they're gonna have a Fatal Push and then ping my Silvergill Adept, and that'll be that. Maybe they'll just Fatal Push it right now, or Lightning Bolt. Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ, opponent. So let's just take a second to sort of figure out what they're working with here. Like 1 drop, 1 drop, 1 drop, 1 drop. Seems like Chalice on 1 is probably just generally better than Chalice on 0. I just didn't have the resources this game. Either way, we got hit by Koligon's command, which is pretty dirty. I'm behind on time here, and I'm obviously just dead, so I don't know. Let's just scoop it up, guys. No outs. No outs. I think I might just keep, honestly, I'm going to keep my Ether Vials in. Bounce doesn't seem amazing to me in this. I'm just going to cut both of my Brazen Borrowers. So then what is the 60th best card in the matchup? Thanks for joining me tonight, everybody. First round was really fun against Gyruda. We just drew some Island Walk, and Master of Waves got us there in game 2. We're going to hope to draw Ether Vial here in game 3 against Jund, just sort of curve out against them. Maybe I just bring in like a Spell Pierce. It's kind of a non-bow with Chalice of the Void. Obviously, Rest in Peace is just the nuts here because of Kroxa and Lurrus, Tarmogoyf. So Rest in Peace is actually like really sick. Happy to have access to that. Oh man, what a weird hand. Land and spells, I think it's a keep. There's not too much in the deck. Like, we don't have, like, the Brazen Borrowers are out. We didn't bring in Deprive. We're short white mana for Rest in Peace, but we've got white mana for Mariner. I think we can work with this. Jund opponent going to keep 7 as well. Let's see how it goes. Opponent, of course. Why not? We name Merfolk. Well, I don't know. I could have cast Chalice on 0 here. Well, they just didn't play anything, so Chalice on 0 and 1. And there's our mana, so... All right, so no more Ether Vials. Opponent gonna bolt my face in response to this. Let's see. No, not gonna bolt my face. I have a feeling we're going to see Wrenn and 6, since that's probably one of the only reasons they would keep a hand with no 1-drops. All right, well, we've got good creatures this time for Wrenn and 6. Oh, I like playing Spreading Seas, guys. I'm going to take them off green mana. I mean, they have the Verdant Catacombs, right? So they're sort of sorted. They're kind of sorted on their mana. So maybe I save Spreading Seas. I just feel like I'm going to run out of Lord here. And, oh god, they're just going to Maelstrom Pulse my Chalices, and I'm just going to feel bad. Hey, Tux, welcome to the stream. I think we got to get some bodies on the board here. Since we can't really slow down their mana with them getting lands back with Wrenn, I think we'll save Seas for a little while. Let's hope they've just got a hand with, like, Tarmogoyfs. But they can always just play out Lurrus right now. And Maelstrom Pulse on Chalice is just so gross. But if they tap out for Lurrus, could be good. If I draw a land, I can play Spreading Seas, and well, I guess we'll have to see what happens. All right. Well, this ramps us, so that's something. We still got, you know, like Master of Waves in the wings. Bolt, you got it, opponent. Double Spreading Seas seems decent. Could play a Lord, try to attack Ren down. That also seems good. So just kind of like playing to the board. Activating Mutavault just like not the best tempo-wise, but Ren and 6 is kind of getting pretty dangerous here. I'm gonna play to the board here. Going to try to deal with Ren 6 a little bit. Could also just ignore Ren and 6. I mean, but he's getting too close to ultimating. I've seen like Nikachu ignore Ren and 6 to pretty good effect. But they've got some nice spells in the graveyard. Kind of feel like I have to deal with Ren and 6 here. I don't think we haven't been Thoughtseize this game, so they don't know about my Tidebinder Mage. We know they've got the Verdant Catacombs back in hand. Are we seeing, okay, another Bolt here? We can't kill Ren this turn. Maybe they just play Lurrus out here and I just sort of hit their red lands. Nothing, huh? Okay. So with Ren and 6 sort of back down, looks like they're leaving up mana to try to like kill Mutavault, so not really feeling that right now. And since Silvergill Adept just dies to Ren and 6, I think it seems like the play here is just to take them like down off the red mana a bit. Draw some cards, get some devotion on the battlefield. Mariner is a good draw. It is a good draw. But if they have like Trophy, for example, they just deal with him straight away. Maybe next turn I go like Silvergill into Mariner. Don't think I've played a land yet this turn. I'd like to draw into like another Mutavault. Or no, I have played a land. All right, so we've got, or wait, no, maybe I haven't, I don't know, but it doesn't matter because, all right, so hand is pretty stacked at this point. Opponent just playing this land and thinning their deck every turn. Like Ren and 6 is such a busted card. Opponent is at 10 though. Do they have a third Lightning Bolt in hand? I guess we'll see. Well, that's slightly awkward. I think I might just try to like trickster snipe this Lurrus. I'm not really opposed to running out this Silvergill Adept into Ren and 6. If they want to like minus Ren, that's sort of fine with me. But playing Silvergill actually forces me to reveal something, so maybe I do run out Mariner. And actually, hold up. So I can't really do any of this stuff. I could just attack and make Lurrus block the Mutavault, but they do have Bolt up. I feel like I should be afraid of Bolt since they already played 2 of them. So they didn't cast anything when I went for Spreading Seas. I could draw a better land. I could draw a Lord. I should reveal the Tidebinder Mage. And then it makes sense that I'm not playing it out, I guess. Maybe I try to just start... Next turn I can start stacking Mariners, I guess. And... I mean, I could tax Ren and 6 right now, but... I don't know. That is better. Oh, they played a land other than Verdant Catacomb. It's a little bit loose. Thoughtseize, huh? So I feel like we're sort of priced into tapping down this Lurrus right now, unfortunately. Hey, Fruit Kid, welcome to the stream. Doing our best against Lurrus Jund right now. Opponent has just been like drawing infinite lands with Ren and 6 all game, so their mana, it looks pretty ridiculous right now. They've had plenty of removal. They just Thoughtseized one of my Mariners. And I have to discard something at this point, so discard Tidebinder, because, yeah, because there's no green creatures out. Well, you could play a green creature right now. Lord off the top. Silvergill off the top. Kind of flooding. With infinite mana, opponent gets to just kill my stuff. They're gonna... Okay, what's happening here? Okay. Okay. Well, positive side of things, like I don't have many lands left in my deck. No, I'm playing Master of Waves tonight, which, by the way, would be a pretty sick top deck at this point. Opponent has spent 2 Assassin's Trophies, so they don't have too much removal that targets Master of Waves. I'm going to wait till my end step to draw a card, just in case they can Thoughtseize me if they get black land. Master of Waves. Land. Okay, Master of something. Guess I keep this land in hand. Like... Opponent pretty much has to have removal here, right? But they've already spent 2 bolts. Come on. Ren down, please. Yes. Okay. So we're getting sort of somewhere, but opponent has 5 cards in hand. Oh God. So Luris, you're so stupid. Easy trade. Easy trade. Get out of here, Luris. Oh, I guess I have Unearth now. Whatever. Like, whatever, opponent. Unearth away. Ugh. All right, at this point, I think I really just want Rest in Peace off the top. Like, I think that's like the best possible draw. Oh, God damn it. All right. Not quite dead yet. But Croxa is gonna make me pretty dead pretty soon. I don't know about that block, opponent. I do not know about that block. I think it was a pretty terrible block. So Master of Waves for the potential comeback win. Unearthing Luris, getting back Dark Confidant. Or just getting back Croxa, right? Get back Croxa, but honestly, like, why don't you just unearth Croxa this turn? Like, that's gonna beat me faster. Alright. I'm gonna draw another Ether Vial and then scoop, I guess. Hey. I knew if I said that, the deck would be like, excuse me, like, I don't just give you Ether Vials. Alright. Opponent with the Assassin's Trophy one time. Let's see. They still have Croxa, which is just disgusting. I had Chalice on 0 and Chalice on 1, and they Kolaghan's commanded. No, they Assassin's Trophied the Chalice that was on 1. So the remaining Chalice is on 0, which is stopping them from playing Mishra's Baubles, which could certainly be 1 or 2 of the cards in their hand. Opponent very, 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 very strangely not unearthing Croxa. Extremely dubious. And they're down to 1 card. They got a second card coming with Peatland. Wait, oh, they're just casting Luris. With Luris, they're... Okay, alright. So just like a lightning bolt, basically. So second master is sort of decent-ish, I guess. Maybe Silvergill into another master. Lord lets me deal with Renin 6, so I think I'll just go with that. Then they attack. They're gonna put me down to 5 with Luris, and it's like block. I should be sort of okay. Of course, I'm just like praying that they don't have Fatal Push here, but if they do, then it's like, good job, opponent. Oh, but they get to replay Renin 6. They're just going to replay Renin 6 anyway, so... So I, with all that mana on the battlefield, I can't really see the benefit of attacking. Well, I guess the benefit is that they can't do Croxa and Renin 6 with Luris next turn. So draw a 13 drop opponent. Dark Confidant. Well, that's something. Oi, 3 Assassin's Trophies in the first half of the deck. And that's GG, guys. Well, yeah, it's GG. They're gonna They should Croxa, take me to 5, block this, take 5. All right, we did our best. It's a busted deck. We probably drew like, you know, 1 or 2 too many lands. It's not too much to say. Look at what the opponent's doing. Like they got an extra card every single turn with Ren and 6, even though I was stopping the whole Mishra's Bauble loop. All right, that opponent also has 1 trophy. I guess leaving Croxa in the graveyard makes sense since it's just like a repeatable bolt. But it just seems like getting a 6/6 and attacking with it and then not unearthing, but just casting other stuff with Luris, and just keep applying pressure that way. Like, if they swing in with Croxa, I either have to take 6 or block it. And if I just chump it, then they get to do the same thing next turn. If I sort of group block it and kill it, then they still get to unearth it again the next turn. So I feel like in their spot I would have just unearthed Croxa. Hang on a second, guys. Jund will always beat creature decks. It's so not true. Like, if it was just regular Jund, like, I probably would have spanked them that game. Like, not probably, just like absolutely would have. I killed their Ren and 6. Killed their Ren and 6. They wouldn't have gotten to cast Croxa like 4 times. They wouldn't have gotten to recast Ren and 6 when I killed it. Look at this guy's fancy avatar. Like, who does the graphics for Magic Online? This is so stupid. It's like little rubies in the corner. It's a weird one, but I'm going to keep it. Okay, some kind of Titan garbage. Or no, probably like Ponza, I guess. Well, that was a nice top deck. Unless they somehow power out like Karn next turn and shut off Ether Vial. I guess we'll have to wait and see. Hopefully they just play like a Utopia Sprawl and we just seize it and all is right and well in the world. Yep. Utopia Sprawl. Looks like they only have 1 land. They're going to have 1 sad land next turn. 1 extremely sad land. Something about eggs in a basket and whatever. Too many baskets or something. All right. Opponent fighting through it. Top decking the land. Pitching a Glory Bringer. That doesn't bode well for us. Yeah, but Fruit Kid, I mean, some of us have been playing Merfolk for like 5 or 10 or more years, and we know that the Jund matchup is doable. It's I mean, you can't say it's like super favorable or anything like that, but it's pretty balanced. Like, it's actually a really nice, fun matchup. Yeah, it is Obosh. So all their stuff is odd numbers. Um, so I think I'm probably just going to play, like, they still only have like 3 mana currently. We do want to be able to deal with these elementals. I think I'll probably just yeah, New Johns, you just have to get a little bit lucky, I think. So I think I'm going to play the Wanderwine Hub. Reveal the Mariner, play the Mariner, hold up Pierce, and hold up Lord. Just like surprise blocks, like surprise, like shut down, Grim Lavamancer. Okay, so they've got 4 mana currently. This seems unwise though. Oh, do it, opponent. Do it. Oops. Oops. Should probably still attack, right? Getting with the elemental seems poor. I'm not going to block this thing. Hey. All right. Masters are with us. Yeah, they thought they had me like all sorts of angled out last turn, but they did not. This seems poor. Like, you should put that on the other land, right? I guess they have like infinite mana, so it doesn't matter. I have a feeling this is probably going to be like a glory bringer. I don't think it's going to bring them too much glory though. Oh no, they're just going to ping my lord, I guess? Sort of okay. Sort of okay. Mariner doing a nice job so far. All right, they've got more spells to cast. All right, well, that's probably the best thing we could have hoped for. Either that or another land. Probably don't want to attack opponent. I'm gonna leave this on 2. I'm gonna draw Lord. Force, huh? So not much to think about here. Well, we just do a little bit of math. We're gonna have a bunch of 3. Oh, this is cool that the Mariner gets buffed. If they block 4 3-powers, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. We got 2 left. That's 6. 6 plus 6 plus 7. Yeah, it should be lethal. Close enough. Opponent scoops. They saw the writing on the wall. So, nice game against Gruul Utopia is what the kids are calling it these days. All right, so Tidebinders seem pretty solid. Vapor Snag seems good against like Glory Bringers. Also good against Arbor Elves, just kind of slows them down a little bit. Chalice of the Void, pretty bad. Deprive might be good against some of their Haymakers. Worse on the draw. I'm going to take out these Force of Negations. They have a lot of creatures. So actually, I mean, they've got those bolts, But I think Spell Pierce is probably not at its best in this matchup. So go ahead and take the Spell Pierces out. And then we're getting to a pretty sort of tight arrangement here. I don't know how important Bounce is to have like the Borrowers and the Vapor Snags. Let's say I take the Borrowers out. You guys can leave some comments. I'm going to run to the bathroom real quick. So you guys haven't contradicted any of my decisions here. So got some Tidebinders, few Vapor Snags, Deprives, and we'll try to like tempo them out. I think Unsettled Mariner is going to be excellent. All right, let's do it. Yeah, they could have Kiki combo. They could also have Karn, like little Karn. So that noise just reminded me that I should ask you guys, if you haven't already followed the channel, please do that on Twitch. I'm doing my best to increase my followers on Twitch. I've got a lot of followers on YouTube, but it doesn't really translate to a lot of followers on Twitch, I've found. So opponent's keeping 7, and unfortunately we do have to mulligan this. There's no white mana, there's no sideboard tech, there's no Ether Vial. It's just a little bit bad. So we're gonna mulligan. And this looks better. Start off with tapped Hallowed Fountain into Island, Silver Gills for days. I think I'll just bottom the Master for now. Hey, Madcap Skills. Yeah, I've been having fun with the Merfolk. I think, like, where am I in the league right now? Am I 1-1? Yeah, 1-1. I beat a Gyruda combo, and then I lost to Luris Jund, which I did my best. I took a game off of them, but they just drew like 10 more cards than I did. Opponent hasn't learned their lesson, so I'm gonna do my best to punish those Utopia Sprawls. All right, what do you got for 3 mana this turn? Don't play Blood Moon. Please don't play Blood Moon. Maybe I should have played the Delta first. Yikes. I'm scared now, guys. Oh, I should have played the Delta first. Trying to preserve my life total, but I'm about to get wrecked by Magus of the Moon. Okay, Clothis. Totally fine. You got it, opponent. Totally fine. Let's go. Come on. Pass the turn. There we go. Ether Vial, huh? Some of the lists run Magus of the Moon, but I wouldn't be surprised if they're moving away from it. So we're gonna have like 4 mana next turn. This is always like the most awkward. I feel like I'm sort of priced into playing Ether Vial, but nah, I'm gonna play Silvergill Adept, and I'll play Ether Vial with my off mana next turn. Opponent not with the most explosive start, so I think I should have some time here. Spreading Seas, kind of a good one. We do need to dig through to lands. Like, it's more important than just getting Ether Vial down, I think. They could also have like Pillage. Oh, they're gonna play like a Glory Bringer here. Just kind of rough in this spot because I lose my creature and I take some damage, but and also contributes a good amount of devotion for the opponent. But I can Trickster the next time it can attack. Also, since they're going to exert it, I can like take the turn off. Oh wait, it's just Obosh. And also I could like Trickster this thing in response to like anything trying to do damage to me. Clothis does like 2 damage, so it would double that. Could potentially Trickster in response. So I want to land off the top here. Deck. Let me just tap down Obosh. I feel like I need to keep drawing cards. Could take them off of this Utopia Sprawl here and potentially set them back quite a lot. They still got a bit of ramp going on with Clothis, but if they do that, I guess it's their only choice currently. I kind of like Spreading Seas in this spot. It takes them off a bit of devotion. Gonna establish some Island Walk. Hopefully draw me into a land here. Well, whether you go with Silvergill here or with Spreading Seas, we do have to draw through to more lands. It's possible, you know, like, I don't know, I could have played Aether Vial 2 turns ago. Opponent, what? Yeah, just going with ramp here. So they're going to have access to up to 5 mana, I guess. So I don't know. I feel like we're kind of falling way too far behind here. Aether Vial was just... Okay, bolting my face for 6. Jesus. Wow. Wow. Okay, all right. Forced to chump here, I guess. And then I guess... sort of forced to hold up Trickster. Land, please? All right. But now they can just start bolting my face. I'm going to Trickster this thing in response to that, though. Yeah, in response to the Clothis trigger, I'll just... They're going to go for the damage here, I imagine, right? So... Bolt? Another bolt? 3 bolts? That seems unlikely. Veil of Summer. Veil of Summer. So now I think I'm just dead to Clothis, probably. I mean, we're on the draw this game. We got a little bit screwed on mana. Opponent just kind of doing weird stuff over here. I mean, look, I'm dead anyway. You got it. So actually, I think that I think that Chalice on 1 is probably gas against this deck. Look at this graveyard. Plus they have Utopia Sprawls. Like, I'm gonna bring in Chalice. And they obviously run a lot of burn. So possible I might want to bring in like some Spell Pierces. You know, Vapor Snag is a bit of a blowout if they go big for like Obosh or Glory Bringer. So I think I like the Vapor Snags. But at the same time, like, Vapor Snag might not have been that amazing in that game. Mariner is still gas. Spreading Seas is still good. Maybe Silvergills are not, like, super amazing. I don't know. I guess they're good. I'll leave them in. Maybe I can trim, I don't know, a couple Deprives. Maybe all the Deprives. I don't know. Like, Am I just letting their creatures resolve and vapor snagging them, basically? And just playing my own creatures, trying to win rather than to not lose? Gonna run it back like that. So we're looking for something like turn 1 Ether Vial, they go turn 1 Utopia Sprawl, we go turn 2 Spreading Seas. Two lands, Ether Vial, Spreading Seas, Tidebinder Mages. One has got the impressive avatar. Wow. Beauty. Real beauty. I love it. All right, opponent. Good luck. They have the turn 1 natural state. That would really suck, but anything else, and I feel like we're pretty good to go. So just play your Utopia Sprawl, play your Arbor Elf. Ugh, God. Whatever. So hopefully they've got a handful of Arbor Elves. Look at that. Passing back to me. I love it. All right, so we're not doing anything this turn except flashing in a Trickster, so I'm not going to reveal anything. Just pass the turn. So just we need some gas, like Master of Waves is going to close this game out real fast. Nice, nice. I love it. Good one, opponent. Let's cast a Lightning Bolt. No? Clothis. Okie dokie. Well, that's something. All right, let's start the beats. Let's go Master of Waves. Ah, I'll take it. I will take it. So now, hopefully they like Glorybringer, and I just Trickster it. Nah, they're just hitting my face. What's happening here? Another Clothis. Let's go. Kitchen Finks. Sort of okay. Not that amazing. Hang on a second. I mean, it doesn't really matter. It looks like they're missing a land drop here. Blah. Did not want that land. I guess I run out Tidebinder here. Let's go deck. All right, that's sick. That's awesome. Good draw. Really good draw. Opponent's going to try to drain me again because they're dead on board otherwise. Or do they ramp, finally? Let's see. Ramp, and well, the thing is, going for Glorybringer, they can't. The opponent says they drew 5 1-drops. Your graveyard last game had so many 1-drops. I felt required to bring in Chalice. Good games. Thank you. So opponent said they drew 5 1-drops in a row. And I told them that their graveyard had so many 1-drops that I felt required to bring Chalice in. So they haven't scooped yet. There we go. All right, cool. Cool. Good game. Good match. We beat the fancy avatar. That guy doesn't have any trophies in this league yet, but then again, neither do I. I haven't been playing too many leagues, to be honest. Not really in love with like seeing Jund, Luris over and over again in these leagues. Master of Waves, though, has felt like gas so far. What are our matchups like? Gyruda, Jund, and Ponza. Master of Waves, like, just great so far. He won game 2 against Gyruda through Ether Vial, like on their end step after we bounced Gyruda with Brazen Borrower, I think. So yeah, that was a great one. That felt awesome. We drew one land, like, more than we wanted to. We didn't draw Lords. We didn't draw Master of Waves. But our Tempo Bears just got us there. Actually, Chalice got us there. That was awesome. That's the first, like, Chalice blowout I've had in a really long time. Often I'll just, like, most of the time I play Chalice and the opponent just, are they playing Luris again? All right, so it's Luris. Opponent's mulling to 6, and I'm mulling to 6 as well. This is a keep. We will bottom the Cavern of Souls. They kept 6 as well. Okay, looks like Jund again. Not prowess or burn. Well, hang on. Hang on a second. Not Jund. Mariner is a good one. He can hopefully help protect Master of Waves. It's Infect. And the opponent not even running out Luris there? Like, what are they doing? So against Infect, I'm not going to run out Mariner. I'm just going to run out Lords, and we're going to sort of cross our fingers. But I think I'm just dead next turn. We'll see how it goes. But now we know that we need to mulligan to, like, force of... Why didn't opponent play Luris? It's like these people don't even know that they have their companion in their sideboard. So yeah, we kept a hand with, like, no interaction and is about to be scale up, and yeah, I think we're just dead on arrival here. Turn 3'd by Infect, but keeping just a creature hand, you know, that's going to happen every now. All right, so we're not dead yet. We can draw into a Spreading Seas. Oh, we're dead. I'll see what my next card was. If it was Spreading Seas, that would be kind of cool. GG opponent, wow. Mulligan to 6. Got him there. Oh, I didn't draw a card. Let's pretend that it was Spreading Seas. So another matchup with Chalice of the Void is going to be just bonkers. Vapor Snag, clutch again. Like, feeling good about the Vapor Snags. Tidebinder Mage, solid. Deprive, it's interaction, so you got to bring it in. Damning Sphere, I could see the case for it. Could see the case for it for sure. The Mariners are just straight out one of those matchups where they're just not coming after us at all. Brazen Borrower is interaction. Master of Waves pretty slow. Start off by, I guess we'll trim all those masters. I know Nikachu, like, trims Silvergills. I think, you know, they're pretty slow in the matchup, and we do need to trim a bunch of stuff. So if I trim all my Silvergills, that takes me down to, like, a pretty tight core of Lords, Tricksters, and Tidebinder Mages. Everything else outside of that is just, like, straight up interaction. 3 Spell Pierces, 4 Forces, 3 Deprives. Even, you know, the Tidebinders and Tricksters are interaction. We've got Vapor Snags. Seems really strong. It's just down to the last card that I have to sideboard out. I might just like sideboard out a Mutavault, honestly. I mean, we do need bodies, but we don't really want to draw the colorless mana while holding up all this interaction. We're on the play. I won't be so greedy. We'll keep 20 lands and maybe just trim a Lord, I guess. Run it back like that. How are you guys doing? Been pretty quiet over the last few minutes. It's a pretty exciting first game against Infect. Ah, this is gas. No one drop. It's so good. Well, I mean, it probably means I have Blighted Agent, which is difficult for us, but also means that the pump spells are kind of offline. Nice land to draw right there. So things going real well for us in this game. Chalice on 1. Do your thing. Opponent gonna blow up my Ether Vial, maybe? Natural State? What do we got? Nope, nothing. 0, nada. So I'm pretty sure we've got to see like a Blighted Agent here. Otherwise, you know, what are they doing? They are playing white, which makes me think, you know, they're probably on Teferi. Okay, Blighted Agent enters the battlefield. We've got our trusty Merfolk Trickster up. No, I didn't really want to draw that land there. We can hold Seize to pitch, but honestly, I'm not really afraid. Like all their pump spells cost 1, except like Become Immense, which I think is like really spotty at this point. I don't know. I don't even think decks run that. I think they just run Scale Up. So I can't imagine I'll have to force next turn. I kind of just feel like drawing a card here. Could also just hold Spreading Seas for like an Inkmoth Nexus. Maybe that's like the more disciplined thing to do. We've just hold up Hardcast Force and try to eat this Blighted Agent. Oh, we can't block the we can block the Blighted Agent because we'll take away his unblockability. So opponent's probably gonna like feel like they can just very easily attack. Getting paid off for the patience. I love it. What do you got, opponent? Got nothing? You got a dead Blighted Agent? Soon to have a kind of worthless Inkmoth Nexus? Oh, another Blighted Agent. I spoke too soon. Can't force this. Keep the tricksters coming, please. Spell Pierce, sort of okay. Don't need to reveal anything for this. Get our attack on. Hope that they play a Glistener Elf, or maybe even like a Noble Hierarch. Get some target for our Tidebinder Mage. Get some value. Presumably the opponent's hand is just, they can't cast an Inkmoth. They can't cast a Glistener Elf anyway. They don't have a. So I get the Chalice down on 1, and they have triple Blighted Agent. Why not? All right, so we're definitely priced into playing this Tidebinder Mage right now. I need a Lord here. Spreading Seas. Not going to be so patient on this one, I don't think. Jesus. It's going to be a race. At least we're drawing through our deck. I'm going to play out this Wanderine Hub just in case I draw like Master of Waves and want to leave up Spell Pierce also. Ugh, another Inkmoth Nexus. So ridiculous. Opponent, like, I mean, I had the nuts, but they have like the counter nuts here. Any creature, please, off the top. Any creature. Literally any creature. I guess that sort of counts, right? Swing for 4, swing for 3. I could actually block the Inkmoth if I need to. Getting in with just 1. Interesting. Oh, I can't block it. I could bounce it. Seems like it might be good. What else am I using my mana for? Does potentially reveal a little bit of information like I'm going to cast this thing, but they have left back a blocker apparently. You got to go to your main phase opponent. Chat is super quiet right now. This has been a really interesting game. Lord off the top should seal the deal. Vapor Snag gets that 1 point to damage in. We'll see what the opponent does with their blocks. Oh, I can't cast Vapor Snag. That's funny. I can, but I also can't cast Spell Pierce. Just get countered. All right, so they're activating Inkmoth Nexus. I guess they're going to block. Yeah, you probably want to block the flyer. So, I mean, the opponent has drawn their threats that actually play around Chalice. But we're seeing, you know, how decent Chalice is in the matchup because they're still not really particularly close to killing us. All right, they're down to 3. We've got 3 on board. Again, Lord off the top should be lethal. Both of these are sort of uncastable. I just like to run these like little mental checklists. Say them out loud while I'm streaming just so you guys know my thought process, but I like to check in, just make sure, okay, I can't cast these, that kind of thing. All right, so we drew a very interactive hand, and it paid off. In game 2, playing against Infect on the draw, though, is always pretty rough. We'll hope to draw a hand like that again, though. Once again, the opponent didn't play Lurrus when they could have. I think this is a keep. Even though, you know, we don't have Ether Vial, we don't have Chalice. It's just got so much interaction. It looks pretty nice. Okay, opponent's mulliganing. We're going to keep. Okay, Hierarch, so Vial off the top, please. Well, Deprive is more interaction. Can't cast it off of Cavern, though. So something like an Island would be decent next turn. This can't bounce Giver of Runes, huh? That's pretty good, actually. So yeah, Island extra good here, I guess. Good. All right, well, let's just see how it goes. We've got plenty of instant speed shenanigans. If opponent taps Giver to protect Inkmoth Nexus here, then we can seize it on our turn. Don't really see any reason to really go shields down here. Like, I'm going to pass to blocks, see what they do. Now, I could flash in Trickster to just try to take away Infect, but then they just make it gigantic and protect it, so that was like... I guess I could just tap Giver on my turn, something like that, or I could just bounce Giver. Listener Elf. Just need to get a creature on the board, I think. Yeah, it doesn't really do anything. So Spreading Seas, please? No Spreading Seas. So in light of no Spreading Seas, I guess we'd probably just bounce the Giver of Runes. I mean, I could wait to sort of double interact past Giver of Runes. Like, if well, Brazen Borrower doesn't bounce Inkmoth Nexus anyway, so... Could try to just start racing. Doesn't seem super amazing, but... I mean, assuming that they don't have another land, I think they did miss... No, they didn't miss a land drop. I think they haven't had a chance yet, so... Activate, they're going to have plenty of mana left for pump spells. I think I like bouncing Giver, and then I'll be able to actually cast Brazen Borrower to throw in front of Inkmoth Nexus later. Opponent is on their turn 4, so they did miss a land drop. We know one of their 5 cards is Giver of Runes. So bouncing Giver of Runes gives us a window to draw into Spreading Seas. Okay, well they drew a land. Play it tapped. Interesting. Very interesting. guess they're going for the pump here. And maybe this is just lethal if they go blah, okay. Well, it's just one short of, well, they might have mutagenic growth, in which case it's lights out. So it is lights out. All right, playing against Infect on the draw, always tough. And they got there, so. Giver of Runes, I guess that's why they're playing white. I was thinking maybe Teferi, but Giver of Runes is the obvious inclusion. So being behind here, I couldn't both like get rid of the Giver of Runes and hold up Trickster, so it's pretty rough. So we are down to 2-2 here. We beat Gyruda, we lost to Luris Jund, we beat Ponza, we lost to Infect. I'm going to go ahead and jump into the last round, but just give me a second, I'll be right back. All right, I am back for round 5. Let's see how Snuffy is doing in this league. They have 2 trophies. So I think almost all my, if not all my opponents, almost all of them have had trophies. Yeah, I think 2 Rad, our Ponza opponent, hasn't gone undefeated yet. So all right, we're going for the 3-2 here. Trying to win the single treasure chest, get back our entry. Honestly, the deck has felt pretty good. We lost to Infect in that game 3 because they had Giver of Runes. Like if they had sort of anything other than Giver of Runes, we had plenty of interaction for their Infect creatures. We had numerous Merfolk Tricksters. We had a Deprive. So we went to game 3 against Infect, and we went to game 3 against Jund. Those are our 2 losses for the evening. Okay, well, they're revealing Obosh. We're gonna keep, and hopefully they open up like Utopia Sprawl, and we'll get them. Also have this force to counter anything. I guess they're not running Blood Moon. I mean, I'm assuming this is Ponza with Obosh, but I guess it could be something else. But it looks like it's Ponza. And I think they mulliganed to 6. Yeah, they mulliganed to 6. Get our basic lands out in case they run out. In case they run out Magus. All right, so 2 Obosh Ponza in the first round. So now we know to bring in Chalice even for game 2. Opponent, what are you doing? What are you doing? Don't do it to yourself, opponent. Okay. Thought they kept the 1 lander. We drew running land so far off the top of the deck, which is kind of unfortunate. I am just going to run out Spreading Seas here. Well, we had an amazing opener. Well, I don't know about amazing, very good, but we've drawn 3 running lands now. At least we can cycle a Waterlogged Grove if we feel like it. Spreading Seas will help in the event that we draw Master of Waves. Opponent thinking really hard if they want to bolt my face, I guess. Stomp my face also seems poor. I don't know if these decks run like Chandra, but we've got the force up for that. They're just playing out this Bone Crusher dude. All right, well, we've got our Tidebinders coming online in game 2. I just need to not draw land. Okay, that was a good one. That was a really good one. So just hold everything up here. I can't, this deck runs so many just creature spells that can't imagine force is going to be that important. But I can just flash in Trickster on combat and tap down the Bone Crusher. Possible I should have played the Waterlogged Grove, but I kind of like getting basics out. We can always just cycle Waterlogged Grove in a little bit. This is still just turn 3, so... Okay, so we do have Island Walk established. Opponent, from what looked like they may have kept a one-lander, they have been hitting their land drops. Nothing too wild yet. Is this going to be, let's see, maybe this is Glorybringer? Could be, maybe. Oh, it's Luca. So this is like a combo deck. Maybe this is reveal cards, creature with higher. So they're just running 3 drops and Emrakul. So super good. Good job, Force. I'm gonna keep you in for game 2, and probably not bring in Chalice, I would imagine, because I don't know how many 1-drops this list is gonna have, since it's not the same as the other one. All right, go tempo Merfolks. So we just want to draw 0 lands for the rest of this game. We've drawn way too many lands. That was a really good draw. So now I guess I play the Waterlogged Grove. I think I just get the Lord onto the table and just like crack in with Mutavault. Did I? Huh. I think I might have forgotten to file in my Lord. Jesus. Not optimal play if I forgot about Mutavault. Like, I mean, Ether Vial. How could I have done that? Wow, okay. I think I shut off for a second between the commentary and... Okay, Utopia Sprawl. Yeah, I must have messed up my turn because I was supposed to be able to get Trickster and the Lord down. Okay, they pitched the Magus, so good call on running out the basic lands. Man, this is rough because if I got the Lord down and attacked, let's see, I am going to Trickster this dude again. Okay, opponent just scooped, which seems somewhat premature. I didn't have lethal, it's just 9 coming through. Could draw, see what the next card would have been. All right, anyhow, I think a misstep by me. I forgot to get both of my creatures down 1 turn, which is kind of wild. Okay, so against Luca, Emrakul has protection from instants, so Vapor Snag are not going to be that amazing. Also against their Bone Crusher Giant or whatever that thing is called, Snag not that amazing. So maybe that'll stay in the sideboard this time. Since it's kind of a combo deck, I feel like I probably should bring in more counter spells. Oh, Tidebinder Mage for sure. And that's probably it, particularly on the draw. I think Chalice isn't that amazing. We'll see what the opponent has. in game 2, if they sideboard in like a ton of Nature's Claims and they just like throw lightning bolts at us, then maybe we'll bring in Chalice for game 3. Spell Pierce. I think I'm going to leave in all the counter spells. Leave in all the Spreading Seas. This might just be a matchup where we're trimming Silvergills again, honestly. Very strange. Like, Modern is changing. Merfolk is changing. Brazen Borrower doesn't really do too much, so I'm going to get those 2 out. And so, yeah, we're just running Lords, Trickster, Mariners, protect again a little bit against like bolts. Clothis, I guess, maybe if it targets. I'm not sure if it targets. Yeah, I'll try it like that and see how the opponent sideboards. But up a game in round 5, going for the 3-2. Not that exciting or impressive. I'm going to keep, even though my lands are painful, just because, again, it is kind of a combo-ish build. Spreading Seas hits Utopia Sprawl pretty hard, and that's a great land to have drawn there. So I'm going to play that, just not revealing any Merfolk. We've got the Force for Luca. We've got Tidebinder Mage for the Arbor Elf. Okay. Kitchen Finks, sort of okay. Again, sort of Tidebinder is relevant here. No red mana for them yet. A Spell Pierce, I can sort of dig. We can now sort of chill on the Spreading Seas for a little while. It's not something that we have to just like rip off right away. I think the best play here is gonna be to just Tidebinder the Arbor Elf and just slow down their mana development. We've got the combo of the Island Walk and the Spreading Seas, so we're on our way. Well, you attack, I attack, we all attack. Another Kitchen Finks. Sort of annoying, but at the same time, you know, not really annoying. It's just like kind of whatever. I don't know. So in the interests of not taking too much damage, maybe I should just Trickster one of these Finks and maybe even just eat it so that it doesn't have persist. Or maybe I play a Lord now. Play a Lord now, take 6, and then actually it doesn't even matter because yeah, it doesn't matter. Yeah, I think trading with one of these Finks is probably fine here. Like, Finks by itself is not a problem. It gets kind of aggro if they just play, like, Finks into Finks into Finks into Finks. So I could tap one down, or I could just trade with it. And I feel like just trading with it is going to be, like, the better long-term option. I could actually just get rid of both of these guys right now, honestly. Actually, I couldn't, because one of them's going to still have persist. All right, so we'll just trade off like that. Take 3, go down to 12. Draw an island, hopefully. Start developing a little bit more. Well, this is slightly awkward. Gotta play it, though. I mean, gotta play the Lord here. And I'm not gonna block with the Tidebinder Mage. Opponent has Obosh mana next turn. Which is a little bit scary. We're just falling way behind. I mean, I just hope they go for like Luca next turn because we do have the Force with Spell Pierce to pitch. Master of Waves would be an amazing top deck. Would like immediately sort of stabilize everything. I mean, something like a they can't have Glorybringer. It doesn't really work with Luca. Okay, so they just went with Obosh. Now maybe they try to untap a mountain and bolt us or something. I'm still taking 3 because this is just, oh, well, if a source you control with an odd converted mana cost would deal damage. Oh, it's not red permanence, it's just odd, right? So this Finks is going to deal double damage now. Yeah, I think we might have just lost this one. So it seems like I might just need to block the Kitchen Finks here. I mean, so look, if we... Maybe I don't, and we just hope to top deck Master of Waves. Then I'm taking... taking a lot of damage, taking 8 here. But if I trade with either of these things... I'm trading with the Finks, it comes back as a 2-1. A bolt just kills me, I guess, if I go down, if I take 8. Okay. I think I gotta risk it. Whatever. I'll take the damage. Didn't draw Master of Waves. Something-ish, I guess. We have to chump Obosh. This is pretty nasty at this point. I'm going to take damage from Waterlogged Grove as well, so I think I'm just toast. This is really rough. Master of Waves still gets 3 bodies on the battlefield, but now they're untapping with 4, potentially more. Was on the play this... sorry, was on the draw this game. Master of Waves has just been amazing, like, this whole league, except for Infect, so... I might actually want to be on 4 Master of Waves. The Spell Pierces didn't feel great in this matchup. It's obviously extremely creature heavy. I think I feel fine not bringing in Chalice, but I'm going to take out the Spell Pierces. Bring back in more bodies with the Silvergill Adepts. Actually, now that I'm seeing more of what the deck does, I think that Vapor Snag is definitely very good because Obosh, just bouncing it just seems pretty good, pretty solid. And doing it with 1 mana instead of 2 mana for Brazen Borrower just seems solid. I trim some number of deprives. Actually, I'll trim some number of forces. Maybe I'll trim all the forces and just leave in the 3 deprives so we can counter their creature spells. All right, this feels good to me. We've got a little bit of protection from Mariner instead of running all the counter magic. And yeah, Vapor Snag, let's go. 2 lands, Ether Vial, Spreading Seas, Trickster, Mariner Lord. Just calling out my opening 7. All right, it's definitely a keep on the play. We just need to draw some lands, get to Master of Waves, and we should be pretty good. So we don't draw a land. Well, if they run Utopia Sprawl here, I'll just hit it with Spreading Seas. But I don't know if this deck even runs Utopia Sprawl, honestly. Maybe it's just Arbor Elves all day. But we can Tidebinder Mage that right away. We didn't draw a land. It's a little bit rough. We've got one more draw for that, I guess. They play another Arbor Elf and another land. Deprive is an interesting one. I'm going to untap with... We can't play these Mariners right now, which is kind of obnoxious. I think I might just upkeep, tap down their Arbor Elf. And then we've got Deprive for the next turn. Okay, well, when it gets down Clothis, Vapor Snag, interesting. Can't really do too much, guys. We can just attack and then and Spreading Sea seems okay, but they're going to play Obosh. Then I guess we can untap and Vapor Snag it. I really like drawing cards here, though, so... We really want to hit land drops. Okay. Well, it's an awkward one, but I'll take it. So next turn we can play a Mariner and Vapor Snag. Seems decent. If they've got a land, well, no, they can just exile that Verdant Catacombs right now, and they're already at Obosh mana. So pretty close thing here. If we draw another land, we also have Master of Waves, which should hopefully be pretty sensational against what the opponent's doing here. Deprive is just really slow without Ether Vial. Okay, that took them a while. Just going with the Pyromancer. Okay, trying to develop their hand a little bit. Let's see what they pitch. They pitched an Anger of the Gods, which means they must have another Anger of the Gods? What a weird card to pitch. Doesn't target anything, so Mariner not really helping there. Honestly, I'm a little bit shook now that they pitched that Anger of the Gods. I mean, it does wipe their board as well. Come on, play your Anger of the Gods. You know you want to. Well, now it seems a little bit weird, like the idea. And now they're pitching their whole hand, so no more Anger of the Gods. They pitched 2 Anger of the Gods, trying to go wide here, I guess. It looks like it's working pretty well, actually. I really want to land off the top here. Come on, land. No land. So instead of land, well, so the opponent, this is pretty awesome, actually, for them. They get to just go like Obosh now. I'm going to bounce Clothis, I guess, on their upkeep. This thing doesn't trigger until... Could also just deprive Clothis, but I mean, not Clothis, Obosh. But I mean, they're already going super crazy wide here. All right, getting down a Lord makes it harder for them to really attack with their 1/1s. Got Island Walk. Could just try to 2-turn them here. Like, actually, I have to save Vapor Snag for Obosh, right? If I attack for 3, probably... Oh, wait, the Vapor Snag's going to deal 1. So attack for 3, leave back a blocker, leave up Vapor Snag for Obosh. The opponent's going to ping us for 2, almost certainly, right? Because they've got their 5 mana for Obosh. So imagine I go down to 11. Swing for 3 here, leave back 2 blockers. Block Pyromancer, block an Elemental, take 2, 3, 4, 8. I think I should be okay. We'll see how it goes. Things are getting pretty tight here. I'm not going to bounce Clothis. I'm going to bounce Obosh, because that's clearly the opponent's plan, is to attack for tons of double damage. And we should have Xaxes if they just tap out for Clothis. Sorry, I keep saying Clothis. I mean Obosh. These stupid names. They also have 3 cards in hand, so they could have more than enough to kill us here. Us not ripping a land for Master of Waves was pretty devastating. We would have had 6 elementals and just plenty of time to like Island Walk for the win. All right, well, it's coming down to this last turn here. Opponent, I don't know. I can't see how they do anything other than just play Obosh. Question is whether they're going to ping me with Clothis here or ramp. And they are going to ping my face, so sort of rough. I guess we'll see how... Now, it does mean that they have to tap Arbor Elf to cast Obosh. Oshkosh Obosh. They're down to 8 at this point. Oh, sorry, they gained life. So now they're still not dead. So another Vapor Snag off the top would do it. Opponent could just have a Bolt here, which would be really painful. Oh, come on. You... All my opponents have been drawing just like all their bolts all night. And now I think I just might be dead. Oh, that's so ridiculous. I'm totally dead. Jesus. Yeah, I'm dead. I mean, Vapor Snag was really good in that spot. Like really, really good. But the opponent pitched their hand down to 0 cards, drew up with Seasoned Pyromancer. One of the cards that they drew was Lightning Bolt. I don't know. Like, we do our best. I had Tidebinder Mage. I'll go ahead and scoop. I don't want the opponent to have to just sit here. Had the Tidebinder Mage. Mariner seemed pretty good. Against Bolt in that spot, it would have been pretty good. Possible I should have played out Mariner instead of the Lord, but then I had no kind of clock for lethal there. So anyhow, thanks for joining me, guys. It's a 2-3 league. Not very exciting. The deck felt great, honestly. I just feel like the matches that I lost, I got like turn 3'd by Infect. I went to game 3 against Infect. I went to game 3 against Luris Jund. Went to game 3 against red-green Obosh aggro. Opponent was telling me that if I had snagged Klothys there, I could have lived. But living is not winning, just losing later. And I said, I don't think so. It's like too much double damage coming through. If I just bounce Klothys. Like Obosh would be on the battlefield, I would get bolted, and then all these creatures are dealing double damage. I don't know. I would have an empty board. Seems bad. So let's just sort of recap everything and wrap up the stream. So again, Master of Waves actually felt really excellent. We didn't run into any combo, I guess, apart from Infect, if you call that a combo deck, I guess. So I think I'm just going to go down a Spell Pierce and go up a 4th Master of Waves. The sideboard felt fine. We didn't see any Tron. We didn't see any control. We didn't really see any prowess, so Damping Sphere didn't come into play. Rest in Peace, I think, would have been sensational against Luris Jund because they're on the Kroxa plan and they're on the Luris plan. So I think some people in chat earlier were like doubting Rest in Peace in the matchup, but I'm pretty sure it's like just nutty. It doesn't die to Kolaghan's Command. It does die to Assassin's Trophy, but I might actually go up Rest in Peace, honestly. I like how good it is against Luris Jund, and that deck is just everywhere all the time. So maybe a 3rd Rest in Peace. I like the Tidebinders. I like the Vapor Snags. Deprive might be a little overkill. We've already got, I just did trim a Spell Pierce. Maybe I go down to 2 Deprives, up a Rest in Peace. And, obviously, that was a very particular league. I played against green-red Obosh aggro twice. It's not Ponza at this point. That particular deck is not Ponza, and it's not even mid-range. That one is just aggro. So we played against Ponza aggro twice. We beat it once, lost twice to what I have to say is kind of a sensational draw by the opponent. Lost to Obosh, lost to Luris Jund, and we lost to Infect. We beat Obosh once, and we beat Gyruda. So let's think about companions for a second. Is it possible that all of our matchups tonight had companions? Gyruda was a companion, and then Jund, and then Obosh, and then Infect had Luris, and then we had Obosh again. So literally, Every deck except my deck had a companion in it this league, so I guess that's maybe saying something and potentially part of why I went 2-3. But honestly, like compared to the league last week where I went 3-2, this build felt stronger. I think my opponents just kind of like had crazy draws and just ran over me. But Master of Waves in most of the spots was going to just be better than I think Lurrus would have been. I don't know if you guys have a different opinion. Of course, just let me know in chat. But Master of Waves felt really good for the matchups. There was a spot against Obosh just there where I could have just ripped any land and I would have immediately stabilized against what they were doing and probably would have won the game. Because even though Obosh doubles damage with their creatures, it doesn't give them double strike, right? So double strike would be kind of crazy against my elemental tokens because it would kill all the elementals with first strike before they actually get to deal any damage. So if I had played Master of Waves after drawing a land, I would have had Master of Waves with Pro Red. I would have had Lord, Tidebinder Mage, Merfolk Trickster, Spreading Seas. I would have had 6 elemental tokens. Island Walk with Spreading Seas. I think we could have gotten there. So really what it boiled down to was like, am I going to draw a land or am I not going to draw a land? I flooded in some games and then whiffed in other games. And ideally, you don't want your deck to sort of walk on such a knife's edge as far as like winning and losing goes. You want to kind of crush your opponents. That's kind of what the Jund Lurrus decks are doing. But we're trying to do the best that we can with Merfolk. And honestly, I think that the call ahead of the league was that Master of Waves was going to be sensational in the metagame. And I think that point was proven, right? Like it beat Gyruda by going really wide with elemental tokens in combination with some of the bounce spells. Beat Gyruda. Obviously, it's just great against Jund. One of the best cards that we can draw against Jund. It's great against Obosh. So we saw that twice. And the only thing it was kind of slow against was Infect, and we can kind of easily board it out in favor of more interaction. So I think the call was completely correct. Unfortunately, it didn't really pan out. But again, I think it kind of boiled down to drawing too many lands in some spots and not drawing enough lands in other spots. But I can't really complain. It was a lot of fun, and I think the deck feels really good. So thanks to you guys for joining me tonight. If you're not following the channel, please go ahead and give me a follow. I really appreciate it. And I'll see you guys next on Monday for Soul Herder. And if you don't feel like watching Soul Herder, I'll see you next Wednesday again at 8 p.m. Eastern Time for more Merfolk. So until then, have a good week, guys. Bye.